The third criterion is the project impact section. This first place is where you give kind of a summary of how this project is going to impact your community. You want to be really specific about positive impacts. Try to either avoid generalizations or at least generalize and then go specific. If at all possible, you should discuss health and safety issues. That's a big focus of this program, and if you can harp on that at all, that will more than likely give you more points. Show us numbers. So if there's any backup documentation that you can attach that shows us some hard data about how this project will potentially impact your community. So that's like any health assessments that have been done. It really depends on your project. Maybe you can find studies that relate to your project online. Um, if there's any other sort of backup documentation, maybe you can show us how much money you've been paying for your heating bill for whatever facility you're trying to build, and show us how a new energy efficient facility is going to save your community this much money. Again, if there's a community hall, show us how many people use them. Put a sign-up sheet out there for a month or so and let us know who's using it. All those types of things. Any kind of hard data that you can include to show the project impact is going to benefit your application. Next, economic feasibility. So if you construct this facility, are you going to be able to afford to heat it? Is this project going to be economically feasible for your community? And that relates directly to operations and maintenance costs. CDBG is not going to be funding your operations and maintenance. So we want to be sure that after this project is complete, that it's actually going to be used and a benefit to your community for the long haul. This page shows a list of potential ways this project or your project might impact your community. These are just suggestions. This is not an all-inclusive list. If you can think of any other ways in which your project can benefit your community, definitely talk about those. This is just meant as a guide and to kind of start you on your way. This page and the next page of the application apply only to special economic development projects. Those are projects that qualify for the CDBG program by promising to create permanent jobs. If you are applying for a special economic development project, contact our office. It can be a little bit more complicated, but we would be happy to walk you through it, and we can explain this page and the next page and what exactly you would need to do in order to apply for that type of project. So once again, this is the scoring sheet. These are the questions the selection committee is going to be asking about your application. So make sure to look at it before you submit it. And some tips and suggestions for the project impact section. Like we said on the first section, spend some time brainstorming, maybe with a couple of members of your community to think about all the ways that your project could impact your community. Think also about indirect impacts. So, for instance, if you want to build a health clinic and you're trying to get local residents quicker access to the medical care that they need, one of the indirect impacts of that could be that the more health care that community members get locally means less time out of work. It means less of a financial impact directly on them. It could have lasting impacts maybe on school attendance, all these different things. Those are all indirect impacts, but essential and important ones all the same. Next, keep your impacts realistic. If you stretch too far with your impacts, the reviewers are going to notice that. So you want to stick with concrete things that the reviewers can understand. And finally, like I said before, provide any numbers, backup documentation, or hard evidence and data whenever possible.